Hey beautiful, welcome to my channel. Today's video is super exciting because we are going to be reviewing another palette, and this one is new from Natasha Denona. This is the Natasha Denona Glam palette. So this palette here is a cool tone lover's dream. This is what it looks like right here. You know, without further ado, I will show you a close-up later. I will be doing 3 looks with this palette in this video. Because I wanted to really try a bunch of the shades and see how I feel about it and whether or not I recommend it for you. Natasha Denona's formula is known to be amazing, but not every palette she's ever launched has been incredible. As I was saying, in this video I'll be doing 3 looks with this palette. I'll be showing you, of course, step by step. I will also be showing you the swatches of the palette, and at the end I'll be gathering my thoughts on everything I experienced today. So if you guys are excited for this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up before you leave. Also, if you're new to my channel, my name is Patty and I would love it if you are here to stay. So before you leave, please hit the subscribe button. If you don't get notified whenever I upload, hit the notification bell if you're interested. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started with the video. Okay guys, so Natasha has blessed us with yet another palette, and this is another $65 palette. I always say this when she comes out with this size palette, which lately every palette's been like this. Thank you so very much. I did not buy Natasha Denona palettes when they were the same amount of shades but like double the size per pan. I've been buying them since they have had the smaller pan sizes because I think that they're much more reasonable now, and we have the opportunity of trying out her amazing formula without having to sell our limbs, you know? So so this glam palette here just came out last week, and it is a cool tone lover's dream. Now, as a warm tone lover myself, I saw it and I was immediately drawn in. Who am I kidding? I really liked it, even if it's a cool tone palette. However, I usually like to mix my cool tones with warm tones, and so were any of her other palettes that I have, I've been like 100% excited for. With this one, I could say I was like 95% excited for it, if that makes sense. However, now that I have it, I might have changed my mind. Something very interesting that she did with this palette is the name. So in the names, she's telling you where she wants you to place the eyeshadows. Now, if you're a beginner, you'll absolutely love this because she is just breaking it down to you. She's telling you exactly where to put each color, and you are going to come out with, you know, some Natasha Denona fabulous looks. Just have to make sure that you blend things together. I myself found it a little bit restricting, not when using the palette on me, but more so when I was doing my looks and telling you guys where to put the color, because I didn't always stick to what the colors say. Like, I was putting some outer corner shimmer shades all over the eyelid, I was putting some inner corner shimmer shades in the center of the eyelid, lash line color, smoking it out. So it was a little bit confusing to explain what I was doing with the names of the shades, if that makes sense. But literally, I think that is only going to ever be a problem for content creators that are trying to like teach different ways to use eyeshadows, like me, which is a very small percentage of the population, so everybody else should be okay with that. I definitely thought it was a genius idea, but then when I wanted to tell you guys what to do and where to do it to follow along with my eye look, I was a little bit like just confused, you know? Let me stop rambling and show you guys the beautiful swatches of this palette. So from left to right, you have center eyelid, outer eyelid, inner corner, crease, transition, smoke, blend, lash line, inner corner, center eyelid, outer eyelid, center eyelid, outer eyelid, brow bone. The shades swatch and perform like any Natasha Denona shade. I absolutely love how creamy her mattes are and how even creamier her shimmers are. Like, her formula is unparalleled. There isn't any of her creamy matte formula in this palette, so if that is like a formula that she makes that you tend to not like, you're good with this one because you will waste no shades. And as you heard when I was naming everything, she does have some repeated names on the eyeshadows because there are eyeshadows that you can use in the same way. Now, before I tell you guys my final thoughts and opinions on the palette, let me show you the 3 looks that I created for you today. To start the first look, I'm going to use the color Transition, and I'm going to press it onto my crease area here. I'm just tapping as I go along. And now that I have some color down, I'm going to start blending around it. I first kind of tapped it in because since I just primed my eye with the Alter Ego primer, things were a little sticky, so that's why I like pressed it all the way in. And now I'm just blending out anything that needs to be blended. With the same brush, which is my reference number 15, I'm going to tap the color Smoke here on the outer corner of the eye, and I'm going to start building it into the crease, blending it right into that first color we applied. And I always start blending from the outer corner and go all the way in. I'm grabbing a little bit more and making it a little higher on the crease. And I'm continuing to just do little circles and bringing the color in, starting from the outside and in. With my reference number 14 and the color Lash Line, I'm going to go ahead and darken up the outer corner of the eye even more. And this brush is a very, very small, thin blending brush, so it'll just kind of do the work for you. It helps you blend the color in immediately. Look at that, I barely had to blend. And it gave the outer corner of the eye the best depth. Now with my reference number 2 and the color Outer Eyelid, I'm going to go ahead and just tap that color in the center of the eyelid, not the outer part of the eyelid, because we are rebels here. We don't do what we're told. And I love that color because it has like the tiniest little bit of like a purpley shift to it, I think. Or maybe I'm just making that up, but the point is, it looks really beautiful. And I've gone back a couple times with my brush just to add a really nice amount of pigmentation. Oh my god, yes. Now I'm going to grab the inner corner color from the second row and I'm going to put it actually in the inner corner. Because we want to though, not because we were told to do so. Because I haven't done my face makeup yet, I'm not going to take it all the way in. I'm going to do my face makeup and I'll be right back. I don't know if this stopped recording or if I literally just never pressed record, so let me tell you what I just did. I went ahead and put the color inner corner from the second row on the inner corner of my eye with this flat little brush right here, and I built it up real nicely to give me a good amount of intensity. Then with my reference number 3 brush and the color Lash Line, I went ahead and back and forth smudged that color right underneath my lashes here to give it a nice depth, just like the one we have on top. And with my reference number 14 brush and the color Transition that we used right here on top, I smoked out that lower lash line. And I was saying that this is a really beautiful cool tone smoky eye. I like it a lot more than I thought I would because I usually like my warm tones, I think, a little more, but this looks really beautiful. And my favorite thing about it is the color right here in the center. That shimmer is everything. So this is the first look without mascara. Let me go ahead and put on some mascara and I'll be right back to show you what that looks like. I'm back with some mascara on. I'm using the McGrath Dark Star mascara and this is look number 1. I really love the way it came out. Now, because this is the Glam palette from Natasha Denona, I am going to pair every look with glamorous lashes. So let me put some lashes on and I'll be right back to show you the final look. So this happened, and that is my magnetic eyeliner from Glamnetic there. I decided to tightline underneath my eye and I made my lash line stick to like up there. Well, let me see if I can fix this. I literally made a hole on my crease. Let me see if I can fix it. I'm going to use on my number 14 brush a little bit of the color Transition. And I'm using this brush because it's small enough, I think, that we could probably make something happen. Then I'm going to use the color Smoke. I think that's what I used on this side. Hopefully I remember correctly. And I'm just back and forth. Is that what I used on this side? Okay, I think I did use the color Smoke, but who knows? I am putting it there regardless. And then the teeniest, tiniest bit of lash line ever. And I'm just back and forth blending all of that together. And now the fabulous shimmer shade Outer Eyelid right here. And blend around it with the number 14, nothing added. Okay, it doesn't look as pretty as it looked before, but we fixed it. Let me be right back with the damn lashes on. As you can see, I went ahead and put eyeliner on the top and I tightline my waterline with Bedroom Black from Charlotte Tilbury. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back and this is the final look number 1. As you can see, nice and smoky. These lashes are everything. These are the Bella lashes by Glamnetic, my favorite. I love them. And this is the final look number 1. It came out so pretty, we can pretty much pretend that that eyeliner thing never happened. Alright, let's move on to look number 2. I'm going to start the second look with the color blend on my Refer number 15 brush, and I am very lightly just sweeping it back and forth on the crease of my eye. I really like this color because I think rather than cool tone, it's more so like a neutral, and I think it is the perfect shade for the crease area. So as you can see, just I'm sweeping back and forth with that number 15 brush. Again, I'm applying very little pressure because my eyelids are sticky because of my eyeshadow base, so I don't want my bristles to get like stuck, you know. So I'm very lightly just applying that shade back and forth. With barely anything on my brush, I'm going to just hit those edges and diffuse them upwards a little bit because I was having a little bit of an edge right underneath my brow, and we don't like edges right here on this channel. So very lightly just sweeping the edges up a little bit so that they diffuse even further. And now we have a nice wash of color on that crease. Next, with my Refer number 1 and the color Lash Line, I'm going to start applying it by patting right here on this outer corner. And then without dipping back in, I'm patting a little bit more upwards so that it blends up into the crease a little bit. This was just one dip, I have not gone back to add more. And now I'm just back and forth sweeping that number 1 brush with a very light touch to blend it into that crease color. And just blend everything until there's no more harsh edges. I did just go back a second time to grab a teeny tiny bit more of that color Lash Line, and I am just making sure that everything looks nice and as intense as I wanted. Now with the big number 15 brush, nothing added to it, I'm just again making sure everything is blended nicely. With my number 2 brush from Refer, I'm grabbing the brown outer eyelid shade, and I'm going to just press it onto my eyelid and blend it into the outer corner, which is already nice and dark. And I'm just patting that color in place right there in the center of the eye. And that is a really beautiful like chocolatey shimmer shade. It's very pretty. Next, with the same brush and the color Center Eyelid from the top, I'm going to brighten up the inner part of the eye, and I'm going to blend it into that chocolatey brown shade, grabbing a little bit more. And now with my Refer number 14 and the color Blend, I'm going to go around the shimmer shades and blend. Alright, so this is the top of look number 2 before putting makeup around it. I'll be right back to finish it up. I'm back with some makeup on, and I'm going to use the color Inner Corner from the top row right here on the inner corner of the eye. This shade is absolutely stunning, and I'm just tapping it in and blending it into the color I have at the beginning of the eyelid. Check out how pretty that looks. Okay. For under the eye, I'm going to start with the color Blend and the number 14 brush from Refer, and I'm going to just blend that color back and forth right under my lower lash line. Just back and forth with the brush from the inner part to the outer part of the eye here. Okay, and don't be scared to drag it down quite a bit. We want a lot of smokiness around the eye. The bigger you make this section, the bigger your eye is going to look. Then with the Refer number 3 in the color Lash Line, we're going to darken up the lower lash area. Just back and forth smudging that color on. Nice and smoky, just like this. For the waterline, I'm going to use Fake Awake by Tarte. And this is look number 2 before mascara or lashes. Let me do some mascara and show you what that looks like. I'm back with mascara on, so this is look number 2 with mascara. I really love the way that this one came out. I love that chocolatey brown on the eyelid. Let me be right back with some glam lashes on. I'm back, lashes are on. This is the second look. I like the little bit of warmth in the center of the eyelid with that chocolate color, and these shimmers are so beautiful. The pigmentation and how easily they go on is really remarkable on these shimmers. I love that about Natasha Denona eyeshadows for sure. So this is look number 2. Let's move on to the third one, which is the one that you saw at the beginning of the video. To get started with the third look, we are going to use the color Crease, and I'm using it on my Refer number 15 brush, just back and forth in windshield wiper motions on the crease of my eye. I set the primer with a little bit of powder this time, so my crease is not sticky. Okay, so just back and forth. And to be honest, I think this color Crease might have a little bit of the color I'm going to use next in it, because it just went really dark really fast. But that's okay, because we are about to put that color on. So I'm going to just flick it upwards, make sure we don't have any harsh lines or anything. I'm going to grab a little bit of the color Transition and just put it right under my brow there. I'm continuing to just diffuse that color Crease until there's no more harsh lines. With that same brush, I'm going to use the color Smoke on the inner corner and the outer corner of my eyes. And I'm packing it in place first and then blending it into the crease. I actually just switched my brush to the number 1 brush from Refer so that I can pack a little bit more of a punch with that color Smoke on my outer and inner corners. And I'm going to diffuse everything into the crease of the eye. Next, with my Refer number 2 in the color Center Eyelid, we're going to listen to Natasha, and we're going to put that color in the center of our eyelid. And I'm just tapping that color right in the center to build intensity with it, and just going from side to side with my brush all the way to the crease area, all through the center of the eyelid. Next, with the color Inner Corner from that first row, we are going to intensify things in the center by adding a little bit more sparkle and lightness. Back with my Refer number 1, I'm going to diffuse any edges on the inner and outer part right here. And then I'm going to tap that color Inner Corner on the inner corner of the eye and build it in a little bit. Just like this. For under the eye, I'm going to start off with the color Smoke, and I'm going to tap it in the outer corner underneath here with the Refer number 3 brush. And I'm going to do the same thing right under my tear duct area, just leaving a gap in the center of the under eye. With that same brush in the color Center Eyelid, I'm going to just swipe that color on right underneath my eye. And with the color Inner Corner, I'm going to top it off, just like we did on top. If you went a little bit too crazy with the light shades, go back with a little bit more Smoke and rectify that. Lastly, with the color Crease, you're going to go under all of that and just blend it out. Alright, so this is the third eye look before mascara. Let me go ahead and put some mascara on and show you what that looks like. I'm back with mascara on. This is the third look. Now let's glamorize it with some lashes. Oh, I forgot to say I also put Fake Awake by Tarte in the waterline. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with some lashes on. Again, these are the Bella Lashes by Glamnetic. And this is look number 3. I really love this look and how soft and feminine it came out. I hope you guys like it as well. Let me know which look was your favorite one. I think number 3 is my favorite one from this video. I'm back, and I truly hope that you guys like those looks. Let me know in the comment section down below if you want to see more looks with this palette. Would you like me to do a 5 looks 1 palette with it? I'm asking you because my 5 looks 1 palette videos no longer get as much attention as they used to. So definitely let me know down below if this is still something that you're interested in and that you want to watch, and then I'll do it. Let me tell you what I'm wearing on my lips because I love it, and in one recent video I was wearing this same exact lip look and you guys seemed very interested in it. So I'm using a Patrick Ta lip liner that I bought. This one is in the color She's Humble, and it is the prettiest nude lip liner. It's so gorgeous. Look at it right there. And then I got this Bobbi Brown lipstick, and it is a Luxe Matte Lip Color from Bobbi Brown. The color is called Semi Naked, and it is the most nude lipstick ever. and the formula is extremely matte. If you don't like matte liquid lipsticks, I probably wouldn't do this one, because even though it's in a cream tube, it feels like a matte liquid lipstick. So that is what that lipstick looks like right there. And when I applied it, I just kind of like blotted it like in the center of the lips, because it's such a matte formula that I didn't want a lot of it on. So as you can see, I love the color, but I'm not obsessed with the formula. And so because it is a very matte lipstick, I went ahead and put a lip gloss over it. In the last video when I wore it, I was wearing 9 3/4 lip gloss from the Harry Potter collection at Ulta, and in this one I'm wearing the Hedwig from that same collection, so it adds a little bit more of a like fun sparkle in the middle. I also really love this lip combo, so I wanted to make sure that you guys knew about it. And something else that I got recently at Sephora that I've been obsessing over is this Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas Primer. It is incredible. If you guys have heard about it and you've thought, oh, it's probably just like being hyped up, it's not. Try it out. This stuff is amazing. It's like my new favorite primer, hands down. I am obsessed with it. It fills all of my pores, it hydrates my skin, it literally does it all. Okay. Alright, let me go ahead and reel it back from my tangent and tell you guys about my thoughts and opinions on this new glam palette by Natasha Denona. So far with everything I tried, I'm obsessed with the shade selection. My excitement was at a 95%, but now that I have it, I'm like 100% sure that this palette is excellent. I really love the shades, I really love the formulas. If you like this color story, this is definitely a palette worth getting, and I do recommend that you buy it. Now there's one thing that in my opinion makes this palette not be 100% what I would have wanted it to be, and that is that out of the 15 shades, 10 of them are shimmers, 5 of them are mattes. That to me is a little restricting, because when you have hooded eyes or semi-hooded eyes like I do, when my eyes are open, all you see is the smokiness around the eye area rather than the shimmers in the center. And so having only 5 matte shades in here, a lot of the looks with your eyes open, they're going to look pretty similar to each other, because you are only going to see what's around it. And with only 5 matte shades, you're not going to get a lot of diversity up there. So I would have definitely loved that it would have been kind of like half and half shimmers, half mattes. That to me would have been a little better. I'm definitely going to continue playing with these shimmers and see like what other ways I can use them to create looks that seem different enough. But I know that if I do the 5 looks 1 palette with this palette, I'm going to get the comments like they all look the same, and I can't even blame those people, because when you have a natural palette with not a huge color selection in them, and then on top of that you only have 5 matte shades in there, then a lot of them are going to look very similar, you know? So that is the only thing that makes this palette not be 100% perfect for me. Even if it's a neutral, cool tone palette and all the shades are going to fit that standard, I would have at least liked some more matte shades so that you can variate what you're doing on the crease of your eye a little more. With that said, I really love the palette. I give it a 9.8 out of 10. That is the only little tiny thing that I'm like, I wish it would have had more mattes. I wish it would have had a little bit more crease options when I was doing my looks. Other than that though, if you like the color story, definitely go for it. The formula is incredible. The price is right. The packaging is beautiful, sturdy, travel friendly. Everything you could want in a palette. And if you have the bronze palette, these are going to pair so nicely together. Just look at that difference in the tones and the colors. And combining warm and cool tone shades is literally like one of my favorite things to do. I think these 2 palettes combined are a neutral lover's just heaven, okay? Like, what else would you need? Okay, my battery's dying, so I need to stop rambling. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up before you leave. Let me know your thoughts on the glam palette down below in the comment section. Subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the bell if you want to get notified every time that I upload. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye!